Well, what you have to do, I think it would be great, is just have the kind of intensity that your sister has.
They don't call her good, they call her unbelievable.
Miller's been called one of the most dominant forces in high school basketball, male or female.
He's the best, handed away brilliantly by Cheryl Miller.
Well, she's good enough to play with the guys.
By far the best girls basketball player I've ever seen.
Miller's a four-time All-American, and she revolutionized the women's game.
Cheryl Miller plays the game like no other woman has ever played it, like a man. That's the way she learned the game, with her two brothers in the backyard back in Riverside, California.
Cheryl was the king of the block, and that was over the guys and the girls. She jumped the highest, she played the hardest, and she hit the hardest.
The main drive came from my dad. Checkers, hopscotch, softball, baseball, football. If you're gonna do something, give it 100%. You don't start a fight, but you end it.
Being in a military family, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
The only time that we could be ourselves and speak our mind was on the floor. And see, now you're in our world.
Let's go, move it. Quicker, let's go. Get on your toes.
I learned a lot from the beatdowns. Cheryl was tough, very tough.
Going one-on-one after this.
I would kill him. I love killing Reggie. And Dad would come out, don't hit your brother and all that kind of stuff, but he was just that annoying.
I was first known as Cheryl Miller's brother, and I had to overcome that, but I think now people are about ready to see who the real Reggie Miller is.
Oh, nice hesitation by Reggie Miller.
Cheryl can do that also.
He learned that from Cheryl. I know he learned that from Cheryl.
Cheryl put a lot of pressure on a lot of guys in the neighborhood. But they couldn't tease me because she was beating them too.
Any sibling rivalry at all?
I was physically bigger and better than him. So every time that he would come in the middle, I would send it back. You know, and I'd laugh about him and give him a hard time. I was all right, you sissy, this is where the big girls play.
Always getting your shot blocked. Always losing to your sister.
And he would just talk, non-stop talk. Always, never shut up.
I remember when, as a high school player, I had my best game. Getting in the car and ready to kind of gloat a little bit.
He goes, you know, I started. I said, get out of here, man, that is awesome.
And I'm really kind of ready to give it to Cheryl a little bit. And Cheryl and my dad are in the front, and they're kind of smirking and laughing. And I'm like, yeah, we did this, and we took it to him. And
he said I had 40. And I go, oh my gosh, Reggie, that's awesome.
Hey, by the way, how did you do tonight?
I said, well, I had a big game. He goes, what, 60?
Cheryl kind of looks at my dad, and Dad kind of looks at Cheryl. She's like, oh, she had 105. I was like, huh?
It was unbelievable until last night in Riverside, California. The game broke 8 national and state records, and the winning team's best player got 105 points.
To be in the same household with arguably the greatest women's basketball player right down the hall, you couldn't win. You couldn't win.